Howdy, y'all. Welcome to Multar Aviation. So, if you're wondering what the difference, what a contrail is, and I said contrail, not chemtrails, then I'm going to tell you in this video. So, I'm Dr. Andy Multar. I'm a CFI IIMEI. I used to be a corporate pilot, and now I'm a professor of aviation. All right. So, you know, I know there's a lot of jokes out there about chemtrails. What the wackos believe in, and if you're, you know, I want to tell you a story and then I'll explain what a contrail actually is. All right. So one time I left my watch at a friend of the family's house, and my friends of the family they had a rental house near the town I lived in, and so I called them up, let them know I left my watch there. I wanted to pick it up, and they said that they could meet me over at their rental house. Well, I go over there, and there's this guy there that's their handyman doing some work on the rental house before they rent it back out. And so he lets me inside the house, and we're just kind of waiting on the friends of the family to get there. And so as we're waiting, this guy's like talking to me about stuff, and he starts telling me all these stories from the that are going on in the world. And I'm just like, what is he talking about? Because I mean, these stories, it's not like it was unrealistic that they would happen, but they're just a bit extreme. And I told him, I was like, hey, uh, how come I've never heard about any of this in the news? And then he said, oh, you won't hear about this in the news. I was like, uh oh. And so he started going off, this conspiracy theory, this conspiracy theory. And then eventually he's like, and then let me tell you about chemtrails. And notice I said chemtrails, not contrails. And by this point, I hadn't told him a pilot. And I know, you're thinking, hey, you're a pilot. That's the first thing you tell people is, hey, I'm a pilot, but not this time. So it was when he brought up chemtrails. I'm like, okay, hold on now. I'm a pilot. They don't exist. And so he's like, okay, well, go ahead and explain it to me. And so the way that contrails work is there has to be water vapor in the air. Now, water vapor, it's water, but it's in a gaseous form. And so water vapor you cannot see because it's a gas. You can't see hydrogen, nitrogen, just any gas. And so water vapor, it is a gas, and so you can't see it. But when there's enough of it, you can like start to see clouds and things like that. Well, sometimes the air is just so clean that there's not enough what's called condensation nuclei. And so what condensation nuclei is, you have to have the moisture, but then there's the particulate matter of some sort that when there's enough water vapor, it will attach itself to that condensation nuclei and then become visible moisture. So like a cloud. Well, for the jets flying up high, maybe it might be a day when there's just not any condensation nuclei for that water vapor to attach to. But as the jet flies through the air, then out the engine, the exhaust is particulate matter, burnt up fuel that gets spent out the back end of the jet engine. And so now that water vapor has something to attach to and condense into visible moisture, which we call a contrail. And so I explained this to him, and he looked at me dead in the eye and said, I will never believe you. I was like, dang it. Why didn't why did I just argue with a conspiracy theorist? So that's when I learned you don't argue with conspiracy theorists, but if you want to know what contrails are, then I just explained it to you. Not chemtrails. All right. I'll see you on the next video. Please like, subscribe. If you have any comments, please write them in the comment section below. All right, y'all take care. Bye.